Hello, it's another exciting weekend of explosive football. We get to enjoy all the frenzy before the international break. Welcome to Sports Update on TVC Breakfast. My name is Marco Tabo, and I told you she would make a comeback. Yes, she did. Tuyoseli Banjo, what's good?
I'm good, thank you. Good morning, Mark.
Good. It's good to have you here. You
Yeah,
know,
same here.
if I were a manager, players like you would always be on my top list.
Oh,
because,
really?
you're on a treatment table and you're back immediately. Unlike some players, 4 months, 5 months out, putting the team in the jeopardy.
I'll make some demands because I like to have the captain armband.
All right, of course, we go straight to the first story this morning. Suggestions that Canelo Alvarez is on a decline was stamped out in Las Vegas as the face of boxing dismantled challenger Jermell Charlo for an easy unanimous decision victory, 119 to 108, 118 to 109, and 118 to 109. To his credit, Charlo wasn't knocked out and never appeared to be overwhelmed, but he took a knee in the 7th round and was dominated throughout the fight. Now, let's see. Everybody expected Canelo to win anyway.
Yeah.
But I expected Charlo to put up a challenge because he talked so big. And when he got to the ring, and I recall Terence Crawford's statement after the game, he says, look, you went there to show respect to Canelo. Come on.
So much respect.
And I saw what Charlo was trying to do. He actually gave Canelo some very crazy moments.
Maybe in the first round.
Dazzled him a bit.
But a little.
Just fizzled out.
Well, Canelo will always be Canelo. Best pound for pound boxer in the world right now. And of course, I mean, as much as some people tend to, write off his dominance.
Yeah.
This is his 60th win. Trust me, that's no small feat.
That's no easy feat.
Yeah, so I know the first round didn't start as you would expect it to be. It was a bit too cool and not too much life in it.
Yeah.
But as the rounds went on, the king himself had to, come into play. And of course, he showed that, and put Charlo in his place. So it wasn't really much of a fight, if you ask me.
Yeah.
It was a one-off. It was more of a one-way traffic.
So if you had the chance, would you ask Charlo to ignite the release clause, rather the clause to fight him back for a rematch?
There's no point. It wasn't just like, right? I won't try it.
All right. As it is that we're moving on to the next story right now, as Paul Pogba's future in football is under serious threat. The Frenchman who tested positive in anti-doping test for testosterone has seen the B test confirm the findings. Now, this puts him in a very difficult position, facing a lengthy suspension, and the former United midfielder now has 7 days to present his defense. At 30, chances are high that he might never play football at the top level again.
Paul Pogba, it just keeps happening. Different news from the United issue now to Juve. You would think at Juve now he's having a respite. Okay, can I have a breather now and just face my career and try and bring it back up and be in the conversation among the best of the best players? But that's not happening right now. From the injury issues to the witch hunts and his family and whatnot, and now this doping test. For Juve now, they are a side where they will try to cover their own side.
Right, yeah.
Because if, just in case, he has been tested positive, but after every investigation and is found guilty, that maybe he was intentional or not, they would have to want to have their backs here because it becomes non-transferable if they keep him on their books. So it's something that the club themselves will not want to be in a mess with something like this.
And this brings to mind to the moments and the days of Jose Mourinho at Old Trafford, when he kept talking about discipline on a player, how they should put up, in training and all of that. And I understand that Jose and Pogba had a fracas. They were never in tandem and everything. And some managers did say Pogba is so talented, but discipline is the problem. Even at 30, I mean, I expect you to still be playing at that level. Look at Zlatan, look at Cristiano Ronaldo and the likes.
It's sad. Funny enough, I'm happy that he won the World Cup. Without that, in terms of conversation with the best of the best players of his age, it's really sad that you don't hear the name Paul Pogba anymore.
Wow.
Because the amount of talent that he has in at his disposal, from Juve coming back to Manchester United. And of course, I know that maybe the kind of demands that was expected of him in England was not something he could live up to. But then, trust me, I didn't think it was going to fizzle out this way. It's just so unfortunate that, of course, the doping, issue is coming up right now.
So now, from the look of things, now you're very certain that Pogba might be out.
He's facing 2 to 4 years ban.
My goodness.
And what's left? It's not as if he's even playing regularly for Juve.
Injuries back and forth.
Yeah, injuries back and forth. So if I'm going to be Paul Pogba, I think I'll just call it quits now.
You call it a day?
Trust me.
Oh, my goodness. All right, well, talking about Paul Pogba moving to, hold down, he should start, nursing his wounds at the moment. But Man United managed to seize the lead on 2 occasions, courtesy of their talented striker Rasmus. However, the advantage
then we'll continue to have this scenario, which is why players get on the pitch and they're lackadaisical.
He has a question for you. TVC was good.
All right, Shayo. The question is, don't you think that Manchester United have a lot of average players with mammoth wages, and they're not trying to translate that on the pitch?
I totally agree with you, Joyce. You could not have said it better. We've seen the club buy players and slam them big fees. The one on the front burner at the moment is Sancho. And you look at him, what really was he coming with from Dortmund? And you slam him with over 300,000, about $350 per week. At the time when the likes of Salah, players who are turning in back-to-back performances for all the other top clubs are not even earning up to that. And that's definitely is a big problem. We've seen it happen over time. It questions, just as we said, how the club is being run. It questions our scouting system as a club, and that is a big worry because you play big money, the returns are not there, and there's really a lot to reconsider in terms of that particular line, the wage, and what we buy players for.
Okay, Shai, before I let you go quickly, from the look of things right now, it's obvious and clear that United might just have to start looking for a way out of this mess as we speak. But from your point of view, what do you think should be done right now to at least put things on a very good trajectory before it blows out of proportion?
So I used to make a joke with a couple of friends that what United needs to bring is bring Fergie back, even if he has to be on crutches. And sincerely, that's like the kind of manager the club needs. When Ten Hag was hired last season, so many people were, all out about what he's done with Ajax and how he's done this and that. My concerns, which, yes, he did well, won the EPL, and it looks like, there was an up after the initial stumble at the start of the season. But I knew he didn't have the temperament. Because if you had a coach like Mourinho, who has the temperament I'm talking about, which is fiery, up about results and getting the job done, failing at United, then it could not have been a Ten Hag who would do it. And that's exactly what has happened this season, as we've seen with the reactions from last season, Ronaldo, Sancho now, and a few other things, personal things. Those days of Fergie, players are thinking of the manager before they live their personal lives. I'm not saying it should be, an autocratic system, but there's a need for a manager that would be able to control the narrative from the players who are bought, and we're talking quality, to the lifestyle of the players, putting them in shape to understand that your lifestyle affects the results in the club. That would be the prime solution for Manchester United.
Thank you very much, Shai, for your time. I appreciate your timely response to our call, and hopefully we have you some other time again. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, you just listened to Shai Ulabi. Is a sports media consultant and, of course, an enthusiast as well. Now, moving on to the next story. It started with Tuesday's round of games in Group A. Bayern Munich came from a go-down to beat FC Copenhagen 2-1, thanks to Jamal Musiala's solo strike and substitute matches. Of course, meanwhile, it was a forgettable night for Arsenal, too, as they lost 2-1 to Lens in Group B. Gabriel Jesus put the Gunners ahead, but Adrian Thomason and Eli Wali gave Lens all 3 points. The 14-time winners of the competition, Real Madrid, had a victory over Napoli. And Toyosi, it wasn't that much surprising, but we saw some very intriguing results in the Champions League.
Very interesting ones.
And, well, I expected Napoli to put up a fight at home, but obviously...
They didn't.
They put up... Well, there's this thing about Real Madrid. People just have so much confidence in them when it comes to the Champions League. And I think they still take that confidence into every game.
It's a very, very strange love affair. They have 14-time champions. Wow. Nothing to expect there.
All right, well, we don't need to dwell too much on the Champions League highlights. We have the real game on
Super
Sunday.
Yes. In the Premier League.
Well, as a matter of fact,
oh my goodness,
Liverpool legend Jamie Carragher has predicted Arsenal to defeat Man City when the two Premier League giants face off this weekend. Now, the Citizens currently lead the league, sitting on 18 points after 7 matches, while Tottenham Hotspur and the Gunners are second and third, respectively, having both accumulated 17 points from the same amount of league fixtures. Now, but Arsenal hero Paul Merson isn't as convinced by Arteta's men, who could be without star wingers Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka on Sunday. Now, these two guys are not going to be playing on Sunday, and Paul Merson is saying, I don't give Arsenal that chance. I saw Man City against Leipzig in the Champions League, and you could see that bite is still there, even though it looks as though teams are looking to dominate them now, and they feel that they're losing that momentum. But somehow, Pep on the sideline works wonders.
Makes changes.
If he's in the stands, there's a problem.
Of course.
Super Sunday. I mean, will Arsenal pull off a shock surprise victory on Sunday?
First and foremost, when Jamie Carragher is tipping you to win, just know that there's a problem because that man is very controversial. But at the same time, for Arsenal, coming off the back that they lost away from home to Lens, City had to, leave it late against Leipzig. And then for City on the other side now, they don't have Kevin De Bruyne and they won't have also Rodri. He'll be completing his red card suspension on Sunday.